we talk about race and racism, and we get mad because this woman used the N-word, but you permit more wrongdoing by Annapolis and elected officials than her. You permit white supremacy to exist. She called it out and she told it what it was, and she just had it in a conversation because she was comfortable in that culture, and she's been comfortable in that culture. That culture exists. Like I said, this is about race and racism. And I was doing a documentary about race and racism. Race and racism in your courts, in your politics, in the Democratic Party. We already know that the Republicans are racist. We already know that Hogan don't like us. And we already know that Hogan only likes certain people of color. The saying that he ain't racist. But we're going to address Hogan later on. But today we're going to address this. We're talking about jobs and justice. And jobs, opportunity for justice. Talk about the criminalization of poverty. All right. And like I said, I've been doing a documentary about y'all, about your Democratic Party since 2006. I got supporters that support me. I got white people that were supporting a black man's issue. And this was how it is. This is Brown Allman. I've been doing this since 2006, but this is from the 2014 elections. This is property that was stolen from me when I was kidnapped. It was movie product. It was movie film. It was evidence, and it was also my movie product. All right, Governor O'Malley. The movie was about the Democratic Party and Governor O'Malley's mom machine. I tried to take y'all to court, but because of your white supremacy and your good old boy network, you blocked me from the courts. You feel me? You blocked me from the courts. Unlawful declaration. You know what I'm saying? I gave you your laws. The same way that you locked me up, I use the same laws, but they don't work on white people. They only work on black people. This is property that was stolen on February the 7th, 2011. A truck, a computer, and 8 years worth of videotapes and footage about race and racism in America. This was footage stolen from when I was kidnapped in Lake County, Illinois, on December the 24th. This was property that was stolen out of the Waukegan Police Department. All right. February the 9th, 2008, it was stolen. This is what I started. This is where it all started. I went to Illinois to write a documentary about the war on drugs, racism in America, and the war on drugs. This was my property. All right. I went to retrieve my property because I was found innocent of that charge. You feel me? I was found innocent of this charge. So I went to Judge Rossetti to get my property, and all Judge Rossetti had was the weed and the cocaine. She didn't have the membership list. She didn't have all that other stuff. You feel me? And when you locked me up, I wrote a diary, and I kept a diary of everything. All right? When I was locked up, I was insured. By insurance, I was insured. Schellenberger knew it, too. You wrote an illegal lease right here while I was locked up. You wrote an illegal lease. James Hammond wrote a lease to my son, Jake Davis, and y'all was cashing checks out my account. I asked for an audit from the Comptroller's office. You feel me? I am Dred Scott. Being black and white America. That shows you that I was making a documentary. That's Senator Barbara Mikukski. That's the Attorney General of Illinois. All right? This is the Department of Justice, because I have a Department of Justice case file. I filed with the Department of Justice. And like I said, these are white people that support Shorty. You feel me? See the names? See the addresses? See the zip codes? Secrets must not block justice. You kidnapped me from my place of residency to hide this corruption and racism. This is the Mr. Humphreys and Mr. McGee parole and probation in 2009. You tried to send me back to Illinois, and I refused extradition. The movie's called Racism, and I'm trying to release it by my 50th birthday. That's 10 years ago. You keep locking me up and denying me access to the courts. You keep locking me up and denying me access to the courts and giving me my property. You stole my property and you kidnapped me. That's Richard Scher, Governor O'Malley, Governor Quinn, parole and probation, Attorney General, Illinois, Director of Parole. All right? Because I was on parole. You feel me? But like I said, I was insured. My business was insured. You feel me? Brother Insurance. I was insured for over $1 million against fraud. So we're gonna take this. We're gonna take this to court. I got a hearing coming up. All right, and I'm gonna submit this diary as part of my hearing. This is the diary when I was locked up, December 2009. This is the jailhouse diary. All right. Now, this is Johnny Oleski. He's asking the Department of Justice to investigate my case and my illegal incarceration. I was kidnapped in Illinois and I was kidnapped in Maryland. I was kidnapped in 2 different states because I was exposing the prison industry and the illegal war on drugs. Rodney Ray. I was a member of Shorty's in 1986. All right, Rodney Ray was a member. And when I was locked up, I seen Rodney Ray. You feel me? So I got these things in here. That's the Department of Justice. Legal mail, tampering with mail is a federal offense. That's my lawyer here in Maryland. I fired my lawyer because he didn't want to bring this evidence up in court. You feel me? Just finished a 5-page letter in 7 envelopes. The Attorney Disciplinary Committee in Chicago, Althea Walsh. The FBI, Department of Justice. All right. Just finished my 4-page letter to the county board. All right. This is the Department of Justice, like I said. Director of the Department of Justice. Department of Justice. All right. April. I got a trial. It helps and it hurts. Now the trial is put back to April. They're trying to hold me for 120 days. You held me for 180 days. You held me past the speedy trial motion. All right. Dred Scott. I read the Dred Scott decision in the court record. All right. I read it in the court record. It's on court record. I asked for a nomad hearing. That means that I was supposed to have this trial here in Maryland when I came back to Maryland. So this letter to the Department of Justice and your actions about the N-word. And this is the jailhouse diary from here when you kidnapped me. All right. This is the jailhouse diary here. This is to prove I was making a movie and shows about racism in your judicial system. It's timed and dated. All this is legal. There's nothing that you can do to stop it. Laws that tear down black families. These is my sons. And that's my toilet. And that ceased fire in 2006. You feel me?